After passing the Thunder Festival, he gathered the remaining Thunder Force together and ordered his disciple to open the formation at night and store all of these Thunder Force. When you meet a group of strong people who are really hard to beat, these Thunder Forces may be of great use. At the same time, in the woman prison of the evil demon world outside the 10 heavens and earth, countless double-winged demon armies have already been assembled. The king on the throne is the king of the double-winged demon. King 6 felt the evil smile on the head of the earth cloud. After the cloud fell, he didn't expect that the 10 heavens and earth would be able to give birth to strong people in the earth and still be able to overcome the challenges and easily kill the earth cloud. This kind of self-repairing world is at least a high-level world. And this discovery made him excited. The number of double-winged demons has long been depleted, and they can only rely on the source of other worlds to survive. And the source of the high-level world is the resource that the strong man, likes the most. The 3-level order is to let the same emperor of the 5 regions of the earth lead hundreds of thousands of troops to attack the 10 heavens and earth. The 4th king who heard the order is a little confused. Since it's a high-level world, why don't you just send the whole army and take it down? When he heard that, King 6 revealed a deep god. The king of the last generation of the woman race, his brother, led the whole army to attack the world in person. In the end, there was a dead end and the strength of their woman race fell. I don't know how many lands were devoured by other races. Now that he's the king of the woman race, how could he make such a stupid decision? According to his idea, the high-level world should slowly attack the world and let the blood of their low-level people spill over the land of the heaven and earth until their blood is devoured by the land of the heaven and earth. The land of the heaven and earth can become the main field of their woman race. In this way, it is only in the 10 heavens and earth that the land of the 10 heavens and earth can be safe. The Lord of the Holy J.E. King had, after 20 days of hard work, finally handed the demon devouring formation to Bai Yue, the strong man of the land. The demon devouring formation was created by the wisdom of countless ancestors of the human race. It has a great killing power for these evil demons. It seems that the formation has been mastered by the strongmen of the human race, flying up to try the power of the demon devouring formation. A punch directly aimed at a strongman in the formation. Even the other party's body can't be touched, and is directly blown out by the great formation. Tang Yue only feels like he's hit on the iron plate with a punch, and the strong counterforce that makes his hands tremble. Seeing this scene, Yi King Han walked over and explained that the demon devouring formation is a unit of 10 people. In order to break through the defense of one of them, it must be able to defeat 10 people at the same time. And in the next test of standing in Tang Yue, any one of the demon devouring formation is not inferior to the 3 strongmen of the land. Under the influence of the formation, and the great formation also has the ability to block the evil demon, and all the demonic weapons in the demon devouring formation will be suppressed. But the only thing that is not enough is that only one person can fight the 10-man formation. The other 9 people have to do their best to drive the formation, and that's not the strongest part of the demon devouring formation. The strongest part of the demon devouring formation is that 10 people are a group of people who are just a small winged demon formation. 10 groups of people can form a large winged demon formation by displaying a small winged demon formation at the same time. Under the double suppression of 10 people, small town, 100 people, and big town, the army that can suppress the evil demon in a large scale can reduce the overall strength of the evil demon army to the lowest level. In this way, the strongmen on the side of the human race can easily defeat the evil demon army in the battlefield, and the demon formation can have a lot of changes. These are from the hands of the night and the night, when everyone was happy to see the overall strength of the human race. A loud noise suddenly came from the passage of the group, and the night was not good. This is the movement of the second invasion of the group. A group of mysterious evil demons appeared in the upper side of the human race, and the second war between the human race and the demon race was officially started with the experience of the last battle against the evil demon. The human race has made a full preparation this time, and under the help of the night and the night, the demon devouring formation has been greatly improved. The night is the emperor of the 4 demon tribes, but there is no threat to the fully prepared human race. Under the command of Yi King-Xuan, a strong man of the human race with 100 earth and mirror and a worm, the wind and devil formation suddenly descended from the sky and directly enveloped the emperor of the group. Yi King-Xuan was trying to infuriate the leader of the group of 5 worms in the ground, but he just picked a human tribe to repair the situation and asked him to go out to meet the leader of the group. In this situation, the emperor's temper could not be used. The power of the soul exploded, and the weapon in his hand came directly to the human race. He did not expect the human race to send a small dragon of the earth and the mirror and the worm, which was a shame to him. But soon the emperor was stunned. His own attack could even easily resist the human race of the earth and the mirror and the worm. When did the earth and the mirror and the worm become so powerful? I felt that the attack of the emperor could not hurt myself. The first battle of the human race was finally put down, and the command of Yi King-Xuan began to mock. You can be the leader with this attack, and you want to invade our world. You guys better go back and eat milk. Under the continuous mockery of the human race, the emperor broke out, and all his strength began to attack. But in a short time, he could not break through the defense of the other party. The emperor soon lost his mind and fell into a frenzy. Yi King-Xuan, who was watching from afar, saw this scene, and his eyes lit up, and the opportunity to wait came. A drop of blood came out of his hand, and then the thunderous force carried in his body quickly shot at the emperor like a cannonball. The lost tribe of reason, and the beast had no time to avoid this blow. The head was instantly pierced, and the life was gone. The lower half of the group was still waiting for the command of the leader, and saw the scene directly in place, and did not open the leader and directly receive the box meal. How did this fight go? The human race can't control so much. Under the command of the Holy Jade, The strong man of the 100 earth and mirror and worm played the demon array to the extreme. And the shadow came out of the shadow. I just rushed into the group and started a crazy harvest. It took hours to convince the demon army to surrender. And watch the human race easily win the war. Yi Kangchuan showed his thoughts without hesitation. He didn't know what the king of the tribe was thinking. The first invasion of the tribe sent the leader of the earth and mirror and 5 insects. And this time it was the leader of the earth and mirror and 5 insects. The intelligence he saw in the memory of the tribe was not so few as to make it seem like the strong people of the tribe were sent to die. At the same time, in the demon realm, King Liu Yi also felt the emperor's lead of the tribe's army was all varied. Not only did he not show his satisfaction, but he also showed his smile. According to his idea, as long as the blood of the people of the tribe can spill over that heaven and earth, then no matter what kind of backhand there is in that heaven and earth, for their human race, it will be easy to take it down without the effort of blowing. At this point, he decided to know more about the heaven and earth and ordered the second general in the side to go to the 7 earth battles and gather the army to attack the heaven and earth again a month later. He then grabbed his right eye and put his right eye directly into the heart of the earth, and he wanted to see what was special about the heaven and earth. On the other hand, Yi Kangchuan was unable to break through his own realm again after swallowing all the breath of the tribe in the battlefield. According to the method told by the previous elder brother Jixuan, it is necessary to break through the 7 earth and mirror in half a year to use the seal to count to. Right, the seal of the river, and the road to fight for the development of the human race for millions of years. But now there are only 3 months left, and it is obviously impossible to do it. Thinking of the night when Kangchuan set out for the lower world of Kangzhou, he asked whether there was any other response to the 9th circle. Soon he came to the underground world of Kangzhou alone. And what made him feel strange was that the ancient human ancestors had left their bones, and a few hair grew on their heads. Could these senior sea bones be restored? However, when he touched it with his hands, a voice from the deep suddenly rang out from the back of his back. Don't hit me if the number of my peers is not much hair. He will be angry when he wakes up. The speaker is the 9th circle that guards here. From the mouth of the 9th circle, Yi Kangchuan learned that these peers had been using their own cultivation to drive the great formation to seal all the channels of the tribe. It doesn't mean that these strong people have been dead. Every one of them was once a strong man. As long as the bones are still there, they will be restored one day. He didn't understand why the king of the tribe would send someone to die, and in this case he wanted to break through the realm to the 7th earth and mirror in the remaining 3 months. There is no hope at all. When Yi Kangchuan heard the confusion, the 9th circle laughed and comforted him. The last king of the tribe was here 100 years ago, so it is normal for Wang Zhouxing to be more cautious in this round. The first 2 armies sent over were nothing more than a test, and that was a good thing for the human race. Otherwise, if the king of the tribe would have come in person at the beginning, it would have been a dream to win with the current human strength. According to the 9th circle, Yi Kangchuan could have been quiet and waited patiently. If 3 months later, it is still impossible to break through the king of the tribe to come to this world. It is the time of life and death of this world. By that time, there is no need for the seal formation. He gave up the seal formation and went to meet the king of the tribe. Later, under the guidance of the 9th circle, Yi Kangchuan, after several days of careful research, finally practiced the sealed seal that could restrain the tribe to the point of pure fire. With his current 5-fold cultivation, he has been able to play the ability of sealing the way for a 10th or to end with his own ability to restrain the blood of the tribe, even if he is against the strong 7-fold of the tribe. Yi Kangchuan can also have a complete battle of the top 10 seals. Suddenly appear cracks, a lot of demonic air from the cracks. It can be seen that the new round of invasion of the tribe has begun, but the 9th circle's face is very different. The breath of the tribe this time is a little unusual, but at the same time it makes him feel a little confused. If the king of the tribe came in person, the breath should not be so weak, so he was in a hurry to order Yi Kangchuan to return to the world. The opponent was a little special this time. Hearing this, Yi Kangchuan's face was so busy that he was as if he were flying to the upper world. A space crack suddenly appeared in the sky, and a terrible breath spread out of it. With the constant hum of the horn, the whole world was dyed red. The strong people of the human race had long been waiting for the above group to know that this was the front of the group's army about to invade. The old group Yi Kangchuan was in a hurry all the way, and finally arrived in time before the army of the tribe invaded. The breath of terror that kept coming out of the channel of the tribe, Yi Kangchuan's face was heavy, and at the same time, he was a little nervous. This breath is indeed more than all the other tribes he has ever seen, but it's been so long that why haven't these other tribes ever appeared? He didn't think much about it, and he grabbed a huge seal and held it together. Even though he can't fully demonstrate all the power of the seal now, he can at least suppress some of the other side's strength after the arrival of the other side. When Yi Kangchuan finished the sealing of the seal, a thunder suddenly appeared in the air and went straight to the channel of the tribe. Seeing this situation, Yi Kangchuan had some guesses in his heart that the world had been attacked by the tribe millions of years ago, and that the origin of the world was damaged. According to the reminder of the old man, the breath of the tribe that invaded this time was a little off. Could it be that the tribe in the channel was the blood of the tribe king, who was killed millions of years ago? Only in this way will the world's heaven be recognized. So he took the initiative to lower the heavenly knot and wanted to destroy it. When Yi Kangchuan guessed the identity of the tribe that invaded this time, a big hand suddenly came out of the channel. Then a figure came out of it, and the people came to see the self-healing path of this light world. It's no wonder the high-level world has already taken shape. The land battle was just one eye of mine, but it was suppressed by the way of heaven and almost died in the space turbulence. But unfortunately, the way of heaven is damaged. Otherwise, Otherwise, I would have had a hard time coming. The coming man is the land battle of the tribe's warrior, Dujing Chichang. Who is the army of this time? He feels the breath of the coming man. He has the strength of Dujing Chichang, but he gives Yi Kangchuan an instinctive sense of fear. I thought of Yi Kangchuan's urgent order to let all the strong people on the side of the human race evacuate. This time the opponent is no longer an ordinary ground. Can deal with the sound of the words. Just felt the ground suddenly steps out of the terrible microsense directly to the strong people on the side of the human race to fly out. It was the land battle that led the body of the king to lead the army to invade the land of heaven. I didn't expect to be attacked by the way of heaven as soon as I stepped into the channel. In addition to him, all the other tribes died in the space turbulence. If it weren't for the king's right eye to him, at a critical moment, the king's consciousness led the body of his land battle will also step into the companions of the second half of the death in the space turbulence. The only thing that makes him feel fortunate is that the strongest man in the land of heaven is just a strong man of the 5 layers of the earth. He can finish the task of the king of the tribe alone. I thought of a big knife in this land battle. I looked at Yi Kangchuan's mouth down there. After all, the 5 layers of the road are also qualified to die under my knife. Speaking, a knife quickly struck Yi Kangchuan and felt the amazing attack speed of the land battle. Yi Kangchuan had not yet been able to resist. The whole person was instantly blown out by this knife. The land battle did not look at Yi Kangchuan again, but turned to the other strong people of the human race with confidence. As long as the rest of the people were solved, this land of heaven will become his belongings. But at this time a voice suddenly came from behind him. You are so confident that you have solved me. I only saw Yi Kangchuan's body spreading out of the dust of thunder, and I saw the other side was not dead. The second word did not say directly mention the quick kill. Yi Kangchuan at this time showed a playful smile, and raised his hand and went out with the force of the word. The land was tied up in a moment of chains. And then the human race on the other side of the road took action. The sword of the demon sword shot out and fell into Yi Kangchuan's hand steadily. He looked at the land that was sealed and locked in. Yi Kangchuan walked up and said, "Remember, you have to make sure you kill someone in your next life." Did the other party completely die? The sword in the hands of the talking sword instantly cut out and clapped. Directly give the land to a wind monkey who had lost his breath of life, and Yi Kangchuan showed a confused look. I'm afraid it's a little bit of a hasty death at the beginning. He felt that he had a sense of instinct that made him feel afraid. It shouldn't have died so easily, but at this time, the dead land suddenly opened the third eye of the heart of the eye. Wide red eyes revealed the strange and murderous full of magnetic sound from the mouth of the land. I did not expect this original damaged world. How about I come and play with you? At this moment, the heart of the eye suddenly opened a third eye. And it was as fast as lightning, and it was a punch to Yi Kangchuan. With years of combat experience, Yi Kangchuan almost avoided this blow, but the next second, he was in the shadow of the body, and Yi Kangchuan flew out of the body. After stabilizing the body, the face showed a shock. He did not expect that the tribe was wiped off his neck and did not die. The point is that the other party's attack speed is much faster than before. This is a whirlpool that suddenly appears in the sky, and thunder carries a terrifying threat to the tribe. This is the way of the sky that the king of the tribe took the initiative to descend after feeling the king of the tribe. It is obvious that the sky law of the original damaged heaven has no pressure on the king of the tribe. The moment the sword was cut out, the threat was dispersed. Fortunately, the king of the tribe was not the world of the body. Otherwise, the suppression of the heaven would not be so easy. I turned to Yi Kangchuan and smiled. You're a good guy. You can easily defeat me when you're 5 times in the ground. Is it the son of the destiny born under the world crisis? Let me see how strong your son of destiny is. The land battle led by the king of the tribe is as fast as lightning. The two touched the fishing net that hit the ground and spread around. It was just around. Yi Kangchuan's arm was severely injured. It can be seen that the body of the king of the tribe is not a concept of the use of force at all. Yi Kangchuan can only passively defend for a few rounds in a row. The speed and power of the other party are not at all comparable to him. But what surprises him is that the king of the tribe is not in a hurry to kill. It is to control the speed and power within the range that Yi Kangchuan can resist. I don't know if the other party is deliberately fooling himself or that there are other thoughts. Yi Kangchuan was too lazy to think about it. The sealed seal was prepared in the air in the early morning. Then the power of the seal became a rope from all sides. The king of the tribe smiled at the king of the tribe, but the king of the tribe did not dodge, but let the power of the seal bind his body. Feel the suppression of the seal on the body of the king of the tribe without care to evaluate this means. Is good can restrain my breath. The red realm could not be escaped at all. No wonder the land battle could be easily killed by you. However, this means was not enough for me. The terrifying pressure between the words came out of the body, and the rope of the power of the seal broke in an instant. You can't even do this little thing with a smile on your face. Look at the king of the tribe. Is not at all suppressed by the seal of the seal. Yi Kangchuan frowns and reveals the color of thought. The other party has a chance to hit himself during this time, but he has not taken action. What is the king of the tribe doing? Looking at Yi Kangchuan's constant lack of action, the king of the tribe has some impatient words. Since there is no other means, then hurry up and call the man behind you to show up. The king of the tribe did this because he thought there were other strong people behind Yi Kangchuan. Otherwise, it is impossible to eliminate his first 3 waves of people and horses with the cultivation of the 5 insects of the ground. The point is that he cannot feel the breath left by half of the people in this world after death. It can wipe out the breath of their race cleanly, which means that there must be a stronger existence behind the people. Hearing this, Yi Kangchuan finally understood the meaning of the tribe. It turned out that he was testing the depth of this world. With the previous king's sword at the front car, the king of the tribe of this hospital was really cautious. Thinking of this, Yi Kangshuan suddenly had a solution. The seal of the seal was limited again. This time, Yi Kangshuan used all the power of the seal. The king of the tribe did not have any hesitation to let these power of the seal completely wrap himself. The king of the tribe's confidence and righteousness is what Yi Kangshuan wants. He directly opened his mouth and congratulated the seal to be tonight. I just saw the top Shire appear from the formation, and his hands kept changing until the Taoist formation was instantly activated under the watch of Yi Kangshuan. He went straight to the king of the tribe below. He thought about the whole world for the rest of his life. He just saw the powerful thunder from the formation. The king of the tribe, who was unable to move in an instant, was drowned, and the power of thunder was immediately shown to the king of the tribe, who was not human-shaped. What made Yi Kangshuan feel bad was that the other party was like this, and he was not dead. Yi Kangshuan hurriedly smeared his own blood on the tip of the sword and then pushed the accessories in his hand out of the shot, accurately pierced the eye of the king of the tribe with the broken eyes of the king of the tribe. The will of the king of the tribe finally disappeared in this world. When he felt the king of the tribe's breath disappear, Yi Kangshuan finally relaxed his breath and rushed to the body of the second daughter, who had not yet arrived. After the death of the tribe of the 7 insects in the ground, the breath left behind was enough to break through his realm again, only by breaking through the 7 insects in the ground early, and using the seal to capture the passage of the tribe to seal the human side. Can there be enough time to develop and grow in the palace, where the blood red breath is enveloped? The king of the 6 wings is angry and the palm is patted on the hand. He didn't expect his will to come in person, but he was killed by a human tribe of 5 in the ground. The point is that he didn't even get the real strong man behind the human tribe. At this time, the second king, who was the third in the line of the bloodline of the human king, happened to come to the palace and saw the king of the 6 wings on the throne above. And he lost an eye and showed a shock. He didn't know who else in the world could hurt him. With the strength of the king of the 6 wings, seeing the second king's doubt, the king of the 6 wings explained that he had just been distracted by a small world and was accidentally injured. But the third one, you came just in time. There is a task for you to do. Soon after the king of the 6 wings heard that the second king had a high-ranking world that was damaged by the source. He needed to go. If he could take the other person's world, it would be best if he could not take it. You have to find a way to draw the strongest person to hear the order of the king of the 6 wings. The second king is busy with the process of attacking and attacking. But when he just walked out of the hall, the expression of the second king became gloomy. I can't even get the high-ranking world I want to do myself. Now let me go. Isn't this letting me die? Since you don't want to be human, don't blame me for not being righteous. Thinking of this, the second queen came to the original pavilion of the human race. The life of the human race is more special, as long as the original is still there. Even if the body dies, it can be used to revive the original. So the strong people of the human race will store some of their own original in the original before they go out to perform their tasks. Looking at the second king's arrival, the guard of the original pavilion was in a hurry, and the second king suddenly burst out and pinched the necks of the 2 guards directly. Then he pointed at the heart of the guard and took the control of the body of the guard with his consciousness. After these 2 kings controlled the guard to pass on the news that he had left the original pavilion to the king of 6 wings and told him that he was leaving. The cultivation is only 8 times the peak of the earth, and the king of 6 wings, who received the news at the same time, did not have a head and did not think that his third brother was a little bit smart. But after all, he has the blood of the royal family and the 8 ways of the earth, and the earth can barely test the depth of that world. At the same time, in the upper world of the 9 realms, Yi Kangshuan swallowed the breath of the 7 races of the earth, and finally broke through the middle period of the 6 races of the earth and the earth. Fortunately, even if the king of the wing clan himself did not investigate the information about the 9 realms, there was a sudden roar in the upper wing channel at this time, which made Yi Kangshuan's face look ugly. Why did the wing clan come so fast this time? According to the previous 2 invasion rules, it should be a month apart. I only saw a figure rush out of the wind channel, and the second king of the wing clan, who was the second king of the 8 worms of the earth and the earth, swept around the world and could not see what was special about this world. And the lower Yi Kangshuan is also quietly watching the arrival of the other party, although only the breath of the 8 worms of the earth. But compared with the 7 worms that he had killed before, the sense of oppression is completely different. It seems that the next battle will be a tough battle. The strong people of the upper world have also come in turns, but it is obvious that the next battle is not the people of the earth, and the earth can participate. At the command of Yi Kangshuan, the rest of the people retreated to the far off the battle. Looking at Yi Kangshuan, only the strength of the 6 worms of the earth and the earth, the second king hooked the hook finger and the oath could begin. The sword hit Yi Kangshuan without much nonsense, directly a punch attack, but was easily caught by the second king of the arm. Yi Kangshuan lifted his legs into the palace and began to be naked. The 2 of them were fighting and the whole world was gone. But soon Yi Kangshuan found something wrong. This group did not use their true strength. Otherwise, it would not be able to resist the speed and power of the other party at all. At first glance, Yi Kangshuan is going to start a fight. The second king suddenly retreated and said, I admit that I can't do it. We can talk about it first. It's not necessarily a life and death thing to solve. Why do we have to fight and kill? When we hear the second king's words, Yi Kangshuan is full of fog and water. Later, from the explanation of the second king, Yi Kangshuan learned that the second king was a foreign race. But he was different from other foreign races. He never thought of taking this world. And this time he was just a cannonball pulled out. According to the second king, there is no eternal enemy in this world, only eternal interest. He came here this time to talk about cooperation with this world, as long as the world is willing to cooperate. he is willing to help deal with the king of the first group when he heard the second king's words. Yi Kangxuan was stunned. This guy is not ahead. No one will go to the enemy's world to help the enemy deal with their own people. But when they know the second king's idea, Yi Kangxuan finally understands that the second king's throne of the human race has been hanging for a long time. But as long as King 6 is in place, it is difficult for him to get the throne. Now that King 6 has lost an eye to deal with this high-level world, King 2 has seen hope. This is the idea of cooperation with the world. As long as Yi Kangxuan can help him get rid of King 6, he is willing to provide all the information about King 6 and the human race, and after that he successfully ascended the throne, and would never let the people of the race invade the world again. It's true that King 2 is right. Yi Kangxuan is happy to work with him. It's not going to hurt him anyway. If the operation is proper, it may really be able to get rid of King 6 in one fell swoop. Seeing Yi Kangxuan agreed to this, King 2 took the initiative to say that King 6's weakness, according to his conclusion. When he was in competition with King 6, King 6's weakness was his feet on his head and his tail behind his head and his heartless touch. And in order to show the truth of his words, King 2 directly slapped his chest in front of Yi Kangxuan and ended his life. Before he came, he left most of his resources in the original box. So this physical death is just a loss of resources for him. Before he died, King 2 said, "You have to be ready for this world. I will die in this world in less than 3 days. King 6 will definitely lead the army to come in person." Looking at King 2 who died in front of him, Yi Kangxuan began to devour the opponent's breath, since he knew the opponent's attack time, and got the weakness of King 6. He had to break through the 7 layers of the ground as soon as possible. As long as you have the cultivation of the 7 layers of the ground, he can use the seal to seal the path of the winged clan completely. In this way, the human race will have 1,000,000 years of breath. After 1,000,000 years, the human race may no longer be afraid of the invasion of the winged clan. As for the cooperation that King 2 said, he is too lazy to care about it. It's not the reason why my race is determined to win. Yi Kangxuan still knows, after the 3rd invasion of the human world, a powerful man from the 8 corners of the ground came and killed himself directly in front of the powerful man of the human race. Such a dramatic scene made Yi Kangxuan a little dumbfounded. He thought he would be the leader of the winged clan, but it was a miracle. As for the cooperation that the other party said, Yi Kangxuan didn't even care about it. As long as he swallowed the breath of the winged clan, he could break through the realm of the 7 layers of the ground. In this way, the human race will have enough time to develop. At the moment when King Yi killed himself, in the palace of the evil demon, the king of the 6th wing was angry and slapped the king on the hand. He didn't expect that King Xuangi had less than a box of time before he went to that world and died in that world. Even if the king of Xuangi left too much of his own, he still had the strength of the 8 corners of the ground, and he had to be stronger. As the bloodline of the royal family, King 6 Yi guessed that the other party could kill King Yi in a box, indicating that the real strong man in that high world was not much weaker than him. Thinking of this, King 6 Yi replaced King Yi and ordered the army to attack the other side of the sky. In 2 days, with the advantage of the number of strong men of the winged clan, even if he was exhausted, he would kill the other party. On the other hand, the guard of the original pavilion of the King Yi's war is watching the winged clan army that is being gathered above, showing a miracle that he did not expect. At the same time, in the upper world of the 9 realm, Yi Kangxuan swallowed the breath left after the death of King Yi, and successfully broke through the realm of the 7 layers of the ground. Yi Kangxuan clearly felt that after reaching the 7 layers of the ground, the body had a slight connection with the heaven and the Taoism, which made him further deepen his perception of the big road and understand why the predecessor of the 9th one would say, "Only the sealed seal of the 7 layers of the ground can seal the passage of the winged clan." It was the blessing of the heaven and the Taoism that allowed the seal to exert its greatest power. Thinking of this, Yi Kangxuan decisively urged the spirit power to start drawing a huge seal in the air. With the seal, the completion of Yi Kangxuan looked up at the sky and the connection with the heaven, and the Taoism attracted the blessing of thunder. This is the power of the seal that is fully exerted. And then the seal of the seal is shot out and flies directly to the winged clan channel above the sky. At that time, the golden power of the seal burst out and sealed the space crack with the speed of the naked eye. As the space cracks in the upper wing gradually disappeared, the sky finally returned to its clear, and at the same time in the evil demon realm, in addition to some of the winged clan far away on the border, all the other tribes have been assembled. But when King Liu Yi was about to lead the army to invade the 9th realm, the space cracks in the 9th realm suddenly changed. Under the watch of King Liu Yi, the direct closure disappeared and the sudden anger made King Liu Yi furious. The channel is closed, which means that the world coordinates of the other party cannot be locked, even if King Liu Yi's strength is too much to come directly. And the second king, who has been occupying the guard with his dad, was also furious when he saw this scene. They agreed cooperation to deal with King Liu Yi, but his own body just died. The boy actually closed the channel. Isn't this going to kill him? King Liu Yi did not go. How did he take the throne of the Wing Clan? At this moment, King Liu Yi, who stood in front of the channel, used the unique communication method of the Wing Clan to convey a message to the world far away. In the 9th realm, as long as the Wing Clan still exists in the 9th realm, we'll try to break the seal from the inside as soon as they receive this message. At the same time, in the endless sea of the Holy Land of the 9th realm, a Wing Clan was awakened by this message. This man is the first of the Winged Demon Clan chiefs to be drilled from the seal stone pillar of the Holy Land after spending a lot of resources. It has not yet recovered and has been sinking at the bottom of the endless sea. After receiving the order of King Liu Yi, the first fruit broke out of its own body, and then quickly flew in the direction of the seal, and to the unknown Yi Kangxuan. At this moment, he is still arranging the seal captive in order to ensure that he has arranged the layers of seal in a row so that the channel of the Wing Clan will not be in an accident. Seeing the king of Yi Kangxuan alive, King Han and the Thunder Demon Zanfei came forward and learned from Yi Kengshuan that the human crisis had finally been resolved. At the same time, the Yizir, who was hiding above, also appeared, and without the invasion of the Wing clan, he did not have to continue to hide in the Great Formation. Yi Kengshuan ordered everyone to start moving to the Lower Manchuria after a lifetime. He is going to tell the good news to the Ninth Ring in the Manchurian underground world. But Yi Kengshuan does not know that he just walked out of the river below after a moment in the underground world of Manchuria. He claimed to be the Ninth Ring that maintains the Great Formation in front of his own eyes, and then learned the good news and showed a smile of comfort. He really didn't see the wrong person. In just half a year, Yi Kengshuan was successful.